In rough terms, we are engaged in a war between two opposing religious traditions. On the one hand, the Judeo-Christian world, and on the other, Islam. For our purposes here, let's boil it down to Islam versus Christianity. Liberals love to pretend that all religions are pretty much the same and that Christianity is as problematic as Islam. When I show them the list of the hundreds of jihadist attacks and ask them for a similar list of Christian attacks, they mumble something about a guy who shot an abortion doctor 20 years ago, or try to pull the Oklahoma City card. Well, Timothy McVeigh was a Christian. Right. What is a religion if not an attempt to get people to control their baser impulses by emulating the central figure of the religion in question? The bumper sticker sums it up. What would Jesus do? That's the pertinent question, isn't it? We don't see a lot of stickers that read, what would Muhammad do? Jesus was a nonviolent guy. Sure, he got cranky once in the temple and knocked over a couple of tables. But he never forced his philosophy on anybody, did he? In fact, if we are to believe the crucifixion stories, with his last breath on earth, he called out to God to forgive the very people who had tortured him and nailed him to a friggin' cross. Muhammad, not so much. He was pretty mellow early on, but he spent the later years as a warlord. When he couldn't grow his religion in Mecca, he moved to the oasis in Medina, where he became an important guy. He spent a lot of time raiding the caravans of the Quraysh tribe, the people who had rejected him. Raiding, by the way, means killing people and taking their stuff. When the Quraysh put together a little army and came for him in Medina, he organized the tribes who lived there and went to fight them off. One of these, a tribe of Jews, took a pass on defending Muhammad. And after the battle, the prophet beheaded the men and boys of that tribe and enslaved their women and girls. Any of that sound familiar? Quick story. Once I was a roadie for a band touring the Midwest. At one gig in a bar, a gal was chatting me up. Little did I know that she had a history with a very large and fairly drunk local. Later, as I wheeled some amps out to the van, this huge dude followed me out and was just getting ready to kick my ass in the alley. Just then, Dana, the bass player, came out and yelled, "Well, this is not very Christian, is it?" Dana. The guy completely dissolved. He apologized and told us the sad tale of how he had had his heart broken. He helped us finish loading up, and we all had drinks and told stories about how women are basically evil bitches. You know, guy stuff. When we left, he hugged me like a long-lost brother. Because what would Jesus do? The fatal flaw of Islam is not in the stuff you find in the Quran. Most of that is standard issue spirituality. The fatal flaw is the behavior of the prophet himself. At the end of his career as a cult leader, he had become a violent man, intolerant of anybody who opposed the growth of his religion. I'm not convinced that Jesus was divine, but I'm pretty happy that a few billion people on the planet believe that he was. The more people who react nonviolently to the stresses and humiliations of life, the better. Barack Obama himself gave it away. In his many appeals to us to not judge Islam, he repeatedly said that if we were less than fully hospitable to Muslims, we were acting as recruiters for ISIS and other extremist groups. Excuse me? You're saying that we must embrace a religion because, if insulted in any way, its members are likely to blow us up on a street corner, or shoot up the Christmas party, or run us down in Nice or London? Listen, I would never suggest that most Muslims are not fine people. But moral codes are not about the kind and gentle folks. Moral codes are there to cool out the hard asses. When some crazy down the street from you gets himself worked into a frenzy about something, do you want him to turn the other cheek and forgive his tormentors? Or do you want him to ask himself, what would Muhammad do? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and then click the little bell to get notifications.